My name is Moses Mosu. My question is, please, how can one confirm the authenticity of a drug when buying from a pharmacist? Thank you.
I am Kayode Dane. Please, why do we have few cases of medical personnel who personally engage in substance abuse?
Mr. Champion, sir, what's your opinion on the intake of supplements and do they have side effects? Thank you.
I'm Odedin Ogbero. Is there any agencies that checkmate those pharmacists that are not licensed or professional?
Welcome back. A lot of questions from the audience. So please, doctor, provide your answers to them.
All right. Thank you so much for your question. So I'll just try and be brief in answering your questions. The first one is, I think, how to confirm the authenticity of a medication. All right. So the gold standard in Nigeria is the NAFDAC registration. All right. So NAFDAC is still the only agency that should be able to authorize, any food or drug or that is being circulated in the country. So whether you're buying even bread, buying drinks, all right, maybe your beverage and even medication, you should always look out for the NAFDAC registration number. All right, so it's going to do you a lot of good because most companies who are there putting NAFDAC registration number at least would have done some work compared to the others that won't have at all. I'm not saying that those ones that have NAFDAC registration number could not also have issues, but at least they would have done some work, So you look for that number. Then the second thing you can do is that most drugs now, all right, because most producers and manufacturers are actually trying to, curb or control counterfeiting of their own products, all right? So they come with there's this scratch code that is being put on medications now. So you can look for it, you scratch it open, and then you just type the code into your phone. So it's going to pop up and tell you if this medication is authentic or not.
Or not.
Yeah. Another thing you could do is that you should, self-educate yourself. Try as much as possible to know one or two brands, all right, of the medications that that works, all right, and then try and stick with those brands. All right, like anti-malaria, there are some few brands that you already are familiar with. So why are you going to try one funny?
You don't know about.
Yeah, so that I'm not saying you shouldn't patronize generics, but even if you're going to do that, why don't you just do some few research? Somebody just give you a drug. Google is your friend.
Yeah.
Right, you could Google and say, what is this drug? Let me see. And most likely, if the drug is worth taking, there will be some form of information out there about these medications. I think if you do some of these few actions, you'll be able to manage yourself. Then the other question is, why are some medical personnel indulging in substance abuse? All right, it's like asking, why do pastors commit sin? They know everything about the Bible. In fact, they know the consequences. They tell you about hell and all that, but they still do it anyway. The reason is simple, is that we are humans.
That's a very good example.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are humans, and knowledge is not enough, all right, to do what is right. It's actually practicing
self-control and self-review.
That will actually make you do what is right. Now, I'm a doctor. We've seen a lot of medical doctors that have really almost killed themselves because of practicing not just drug. When I was in Port Harcourt, we have this fantastic obstetrician. She's an obstetrician, a beautiful lady, and she taught us. But when she was pregnant, she went to a traditional birth attendant, and then she came with a ruptured uterus. She taught us in the class that don't go to the traditional birth attendant because you go to one of the consequences that you have ruptured uterus. But she went there.
I also had the same one.
Yeah. The reason is simple, is that she taught us, but she's still traditional. All right. The mother gave birth from this woman. Everybody gave birth from this woman. So her turn, she still went there. So she know everything, but she just did not practice it. So the reason is because many doctors know this stuff, but that doesn't mean that they are just going to do what they tell you as the patient that you should be doing. So that is the reason. They are humans, and they have the tendency to do anything that any other human can do. They are not different from anybody. So
But
that is the
but
reason.
advise your co-doctors.
Okay, my advice is that, the society at large look at medical
We look
personnel
onto them, so they should
as-
desist from that too.
yeah, as role models.
Yes.
Everybody think that their children should be better citizens
Yes.
if they are just doctors or whatever. So we should be able to lead that pace, try to make people
Simple.
look onto us and, emulate us on the positive aspect of life. So that is my advice to my colleagues.
Yeah.
Then there's another question here. It says, what are government or policymakers doing with regards to unregistered premises or, unlicensed pharmaceutical premises, stuff like that. Now, the challenge with this is that apart from Lagos, all right, community pharmacy in every other area is just too small to actually provide community pharmacy. All right. Now, community pharmacy, just like primary healthcare center, is supposed to be the first point of access to care for a community. That's why it's called community pharmacy. All right. So it is because of some bottlenecks in the process of both registration and licensing of these pharmaceuticals that makes you see some of them around that are not even licensed. So one of the things that a lot of people, I'm not a pharmacist. I'm not a
Some
pharmacist.
even practice it. They are not even pharmacists themselves.
Yes.
They went to own
Yeah,
pharmacy.
so one of the things that could be done, just like what is being done now in traditional birth attendants, is to see how you can incorporate them into
I thought they have a union or something.
Yes, there's a
Yeah,
union.
Yeah.
There's a pharmacy council, and also there's the Association of Community Pharmacy of Nigeria. So, but you can't take away that fact that you still have what we call chemists. That is what you're talking about. And you can't, because they actually constitute the majority of the outlets that dispense this medication.
Yes.
Yeah. So one of the things that could be done is to see how those people can be incorporated into the program.
And then be monitored. somehow.
And trained, and also reduce some of these unnecessary criteria. For instance, for you to open a pharmacy, you have to have a license. All right. If you go and open another pharmacy, even if it still belongs to you, you still have to go and look for another license, different license. So how many pharmacies do you really have to provide license for all these outlets? That is another one of the issues. Then the second issue is actually the will to actually monitor. Most monetary agencies that we have in Nigeria, we all know the issues. They are heavily corrupt. That is the truth. If somebody comes to
and find some cash for him, that's all. He close his mouth.
You just walk away. That is another issue. And thirdly, we as the citizens, we are not doing enough. You and I know that these pharmacies shouldn't be operating. Have you told the agencies? The agencies cannot be everywhere. They can't be everywhere. You know it that this hospital kills. You know that this pharmacy is a quack. You know that the person that operates this pharmacy is not a pharmacist. But have you told anybody? You just look at it, and then when people go there, you just say, these people are going to this place. They're just going to kill themselves. But why don't you take it up and go to the agency? So those are some of the things we could do to manage that challenge. Then the issue of supplements. All right? I'm a doctor. All right? And there's a common saying that we all know very well, that the best drug you should take is your food. All right? That is the best drug that you should take. Supplement or no supplement, everything that should be your supplement should be your food.
The food should
Naturally.
Naturally, yeah.
That is the truth. Take your food, sleep well, drink a lot of water, and then do exercise. That's almost everything you need. Don't take medications that are not prescribed. I'm not saying that there's no role of vitamins, all right? And like I said, one of the uses of a medication is prevention, all right? Like when people take drug for lipids and all that, it's prevention. It doesn't do anything apart from preventing them from having consequences of too much lipid in their system. The same thing with multivitamins. But why would you want to take chemicals when you do not need them? That is the best question. See, many of these supplements that we see around, one is that they are mass produced. All right? They are not even produced by well-known pharmaceutical companies that you know that these people are heavily regulated, monitored. No, you just jump up one day, you see one vitamin and this, and they just chase you here and there to buy and give you all manner of promises that it could do. Now, where did this come from? You do not know. Who are the originators? You do not know. Who are the regulators within the countries that this are being produced? You don't know. Where is the NAFDAC registration number? Nowhere. So my advice is that yes, you should take supplements. We prescribe multivitamins in some instances, in some cases, but all medications, all that is not your food, is a chemical constituent, and they have the tendency of causing harm when not appropriately taken. So that is my position on that. I don't know if it's clear.
This is VVView.